tonight on Sports Saturday. It's time to get those hats on, sip your mint juleps, and saddle up, because we're coming your way with 15 minutes of sports. Wake up, Danica, because we're telling you how many more Bama players were drafted on day 3 of the NFL Draft. And where are all those undrafted players headed?
I'm not certain of that.
We have the answers. Plus, it's time to go racing at Talladega. Who was on the pole for the Geico 500? No, not him. Danica, are you paying attention now?
Who knows?
This guy's watching, so is this guy. Whoa! Why else would they be so excited?
Are we on TV?
No, but we are, and we're sliding into your living room like this. It's okay, because we're pretty as a picture. We'll quack you up. So stay still. We're firing out of the gates right now. That kid was super excited. Not excited, though, is Evan Mathis. The former Crimson Tide lineman is in a little bit of a feud with his head coach, Chip Kelly of the Eagles. Mathis has been on the trading block for some time now. Kelly commented that for 2 years, they've never had an offer for him. So Mathis offered a little no comment to the media, but his Twitter account offered a little bit of a vague jab at his head coach. Welcome into Sports Saturday. No vagueness here. We're going to be talking about sports for the next 15 minutes.
And we start with the NFL. The draft wrapped up today in Chicago. The first Crimson Tide name to come off the board was Justin Fowler. The Crimson Tide fullback was selected in the 4th round by the Tennessee Titans. He was projected as a 5th round pick, so he went a little earlier than expected. He'll be right up the road in Nashville. Just 4 picks later, a big question mark was erased for Ari Kwanjo. There were conflicting reports about the health of his knees, but those reports didn't keep his hometown team, the Washington Redskins, from selecting him with the 112th pick of the draft.
Hey, the Minnesota Vikings waited until the 7th and final round to grab Austin Shepard. The Crimson Tide guard was picked up with the 228th pick. His fiancée tweeted this, a rallying cry for the Vikes, a new one, Skull Tide, mixing the Vikings, Skull Vikes, which is what they say, and of course, Roll Tide, so it's pretty creative stuff there. Several picks later, defensive lineman Xavier Dixon heard his name called by the reigning Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots. He was the Crimson Tide's 7th player picked in this year's draft. Now, just because you didn't hear your name called, that doesn't mean these guys don't get a chance. Here's a list of some of the undrafted free agent deals for Bama players. Congrats in order for all those guys. Their dream still alive to play in the NFL. So Alabama ends up with 7 players selected. That's down 1 from last year, still among the tops in the nation.
And one of those guys is TJ Yeldon, who was picked in the 2nd round by the Jacksonville Jaguars on Friday night. He's expected to compete right away for playing time for the Jags. Not many people thought he'd be selected as early as he was, but Jacksonville was very high on him and came up to grab him. The Alabama running back pedigree may have helped. He was asked if he's heard any others from the Crimson Tide guys in the NFL.
Not really. I haven't talked to him. I talked to Eddie some, and he's like it's the practices and stuff are much easier than it is at Alabama. But practices at Alabama. He just said he don't have that many practices and not that hard. But it wasn't that bad at Tuscaloosa. So.
Any preferences for the number you'd like to wear in the NFL?
I'm hoping I can get 24. I can't keep my low-digit number 4 number, so I'm hoping I can get 24.
So the Tide finishes tied for 4th in the country for draft picks this year, but since Nick Saban has arrived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama has had 44 players selected to the NFL draft. The SEC led the way nationally with 54 total picks this year. So that's not too shabby. And Alabama softball, hey, they're not too shabby either.
They are not. That's right. They've won 3 in a row, 12 of their last 14 games heading down the stretch. They were in Fayetteville tonight against Arkansas. And why, you might ask, why do these piggies look blue? Well, being down 8 runs are going to do that to you. Here's how it happened. Marissa Home Runyon, our favorite player, doing her thing in the 4th inning. Tide exploded for 7 in the 4th to take control of this game. 1 inning later, here she is again. Bam! Home Runyon, another blast. Bama up big late in this game. They're going for a 40th win on the year. They're up 9-2 in the 6th inning. Be the 16th straight year, listen to this, Jen, of 40 or more wins for Pat Murphy and the Tide. 16 straight years.
That's some coaching. To Alabama baseball, Mitch Gaspart's team trying to avoid the series sweep at the hands of 23-ranked Arkansas. Top of the third, 2 on for the Razorbacks, and Andrew Benintendi hits one out to right center, scores one. Hogs go on the board. Top of the 6th, Benintendi again. This time it's a solo shot, padding Arkansas's lead. Bama pitcher Jeffrey Bramblett threw 7 innings, allowing just 6 hits, but the Tide offense never got anything going, so they fell a final of 4-0. And with that, the Tide fall below 500. They have a doubleheader on Tuesday against Alabama A&M before next weekend's 3-game series in Auburn. So the struggle continues for the Crimson Tide. But hey, guess what? You don't have to struggle with your decision to stay with us.
No, don't hit the struggle button, because we have more sports, including crucial high school baseball playoff games, 2 deciding game 3s. It's big time stuff. You want to stick around. Plus, we're going to go racing, Jen. The Xfinity Series results and the guy who finished on top in qualifying for the Sunday race. We got it all. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on Sports Saturday.
And we're back with the Xfinity Series race at Talladega, the Winn-Dixie 300. This isn't how you want to race at Dega. Chase Elliott blows a tire and gets familiar with the wall. Later, it's the big one on lap 73. A huge mess brought out the caution flag. But in the end, it was Joey Logano beating out Brian Scott for the checkered flag. He wins that one. It's Logano's 2nd Xfinity Series win at Talladega, but he's never won a Sprint Cup race at the big track.
That's right. He's going to have to make up some ground to do it tomorrow. He's starting in the 11th row. So who's going to start in the front row, you ask? Well, Casey Kane's right there, and he's going to be there. He clocked a speed of 193 miles per hour. He's going to start 2nd, but the man who's going to start number 1, he's in the victory lap of his career. It's Paint Boy, as they used to call him, Jeff Gordon. He was the fastest. He takes the pole. He explains what it means to start up front for this race, while Dale Jr., hey, he just wants to win.
I think that at Daytona, track position means a little bit more than it does here. This place is so wide and fast, and you can get multiple lanes that really work and make some moves there. So, I mean, it's always great to have a fast car, know you have a fast car, and have track position, have that number 1 pit stall. So we'll try to take advantage of those things.
If we're not in that, group crossing the finish line, that's up front, I feel that disappointment.
If you're not first,
You're last.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Ricky Bobby.
Talladega.
That's how they're going to line up on Sunday. Gordon, Kane, Ryan Blaney, Dale Jr., and Jimmy Johnson. Hendrick really showing a lot of speed at the track today. Of course, we'll have highlights tomorrow on Sports Sunday. The white flag being waved in high school baseball as the season's quickly reaching its pinnacle.
The guys are already in the 3rd round, and there were 2 critical game 3s today for a few local teams. Sipsey Valley and Oak Grove playing the rubber match of their 4A quarterfinal series. Sipsey Valley would strike first. Landon Davis hits a chopper to 3rd. Base runner Cody Mills is caught in a pickle. Oh my goodness, did you play this when you were younger?
I did.
Well,
I was the guy who threw it over the guy's head.
The catcher throws it away. Mills comes home to score. Bears go up 1-0. But once again, this game was a pitcher's duel as Blaine Smith gets Antonio Bostic to strike out. Oak Grove would go on to win 3-2 in 10 innings. The Tigers advance to the state quarterfinals. ACA hosting Gordo in Game 3 of their series. Patriots would lead early 6-2. Gordo would fight back down 6-5. The 5th Hunter falls, hits to 2nd. They go home with it. Davis Vales beats the throw to home, ties the game at 6. A few batters later, bases loaded. Colin Herring and the Green Wave, he is hit by pitch. A run comes to score, and just like that, Gordo comes back. They would never look back as they go on to take the win. This one 11-7. Here's Gordo's head coach, Jonathan Pate, after his team advances.
They were frustrated because we didn't feel like we were playing like we were capable of playing, but, ACA had a lot to do with that. They put pressure on us, and we responded okay at times we didn't, but we didn't quit. And they kept playing hard, and that's all you can ask 15, 16, 17-year-old kids to do is just compete. And I thought we competed, and I thought ACA competed. They hit 2 balls right there at the end that could have been out of the ballpark, just it was a matter of a few more feet, but we got some breaks.
And we're heading for a break too. More Sports Saturday is coming up, including a special send-off for a couple of future broadcasters.
That's right, and highlights from the 2 most exciting minutes in sports. Stay with us. We're going to be right back. You know, turnabout is fair play, at least that's what they say. I made fun of the White Sox last week, so karma bit me today. This is my favorite team doing silly things. The Chicago Cubs turning a routine grounder into a bizarre inside the park. What's Rizzo doing? He's throwing the ball away. Throwing errors allowed Logan Schaefer of the Brewers to round the bases for the weirdest inside the park home run you'll ever see.
For last week.
And the Cubs also lost the game, but they are still in second place, a place no one wants to be at Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Derby.
It's called the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, and the end was very exciting.
Coming to the finish, American Pharoah and Victor Espinosa have won the Kentucky Derby!
And it's American Pharoah winning by that much. The Bob Baffert-owned horse was the favorite to win. It's the 4th Derby win
That's the best part.
Since 2002, and you have loved him since the beginning. Well, reaching the end of the race tonight are 2 young guys who we are very fond of here at WVUA, Scott Braswell and Brett Graber.
That's right. They're graduates, and tonight we're sending them out by letting them close the show. So we're going to unmic. We're going to close the show on a different kind of derby. It's the Rubber Ducky Derby, guys. We're going to let you guys close this thing out. There you go. There's our mics. You guys put these on. And get ready to roll that VO.
Well, BJ, I'll have to tell you, I know you're a huge Rubber Duck Derby fan.
I am. It's
as
one
you
of
know.
my favorite things ever.
So I'll have to tell you that it was today, but it was held in the Palmetto State, Greenville, South Carolina. Now, every year, thousands of community members adopt a duck for the event, which benefits local charities in the Greenville community. And look how nice they are. They got sunglasses on, just another day in the sun, beautiful day. There's nothing else I'd rather do on Sunday. I don't know about you, Brett, personally.
Well, I know you and I, Scott, will be doing different things other than the Rubber Duck Derby in the future. But as you can see, it looked like a lot of fun out there with a lot of those kids playing with their rubber ducks. And that's a pretty big bathtub, I would think.
It is too. I don't know how you really figure out who's in first or second or third. It's pretty tight. It's worse than the Kentucky Derby, I guess.
Exactly. That's a big area for them to figure out who won in that competition. It's kind of tough. But we'd like to, both Scott and I would like to thank all the viewers out there that have been watching WVUA.
Thanks, guys.